some. Well, you may see more officers on the road this month, and that's because they're trying to keep drivers focused on the road.
April is Distracted Driving Awareness Month, and new this year is Michigan's hands-free law. To talk about some of the penalties you could face, we have an attorney you might know. Mike Morse is joining us here in studio. If they don't know you, they haven't spent much time on the freeways here.
Looking at the billboards, yeah.
Don't get distracted by looking up, okay?
Right.
Just focus on driving. You've got some interesting numbers as well, kind of sobering reminder.
Yeah, it's really bad to text and drive. Teenagers are doing it way more than anybody else. They're getting injured more. They're hurting people more. You're 23 times more likely to get into a crash by looking at your cell phone. And it's way worse than drinking and driving. So all in all, you should not be looking at your phone. It's against the law. You can get some major tickets. And if you hurt somebody while texting and driving, you'll be held responsible. You'll be civilly responsible, as well as the parents who own the vehicle for the teenagers who are most likely culprits these days. Although there's a lot of adults we know who are texting and driving and just drive down Woodward, drive down the highway. You see people watching movies. You see people on their phones. And it's scary. And I'm representing thousands of people a year who are injured because of distracted drivers, and it's got to stop.
So there's obviously so much civil liability there, but what about criminal charges? If I'm texting and driving, obviously that's a driving offense, but could I be criminally held responsible because of what I've done?
If you hurt or kill somebody, yes. And it's very easy to prove these days because the phones don't lie. You could tell a police officer, I wasn't on my phone, and they can check it pretty easily to say you're lying. And one thing that I see all the time, people are at stoplights, and I'm sure some people around this table have been, I'm just kidding. No, but at a stoplight, people look at their phones. That's against the law. So if a police officer sees that, you will get a $250 ticket, then a $500 ticket, and then other infractions.
What's frustrating, too, about it is that the technology has made it so easy for us to keep our phones down, especially in newer vehicles where you've got a big screen right in front of you that you can listen to your messages, you can look at your GPS.
I think you're fighting human nature because now we've had the phones for, you know, a solid decade. We're used to having it in the palm of our hand. We're not thinking about, hey.
It's the addiction.
It is.
You need one of those things. You need one of those things to mount on your car. You need to put it there and don't touch it. Now, you're allowed to touch it to make a call. You are allowed to do that. You're allowed to say, hey, Siri, call Priya Man, right? And let's, you know, whatever.
Is my phone gonna call now? No.
I already have to listen to her.
But that's it. You can't touch your phone. You can't hold your phone. You will get a ticket, and it's way distracting. And it's like if you look at, there are statistics that if you're looking at your phone for 1 second, it's like going the length of a football field without seeing your phone going, I think it was 50 miles an hour. So it's really, really dangerous, and people have to stop.
What is your advice, though? What is your advice because we all are addicted to our phones. It's a difficult thing to put down, but what would your advice be if you're in the car and you're kind of getting that urge?
You know, just remember, you got to fight it. Remember, you got to keep your eyes on the phone.
No road.
Keep your That was Freudian. Keep your eyes on the road. Every text can wait. There's nothing that important. And if somebody really needs you, aren't they going to call?
They're going to call.
And then you just answer it.
Especially when lives are at risk. I mean, that's the bottom line here.
It's people are getting injured. Over 1.5 million people are dying a year from car accidents.
Really?
And half, they're saying, are from distracted driving. And every accident is preventable. There's no such thing as an accident. If you're paying attention to the road and the other driver's paying attention to the road, you're not going to get in an accident.
What boggles my mind is the technology I've seen recently where you can turn your car screen into an actual screen so you can watch a movie.
Oh, I've seen people driving.
Why would you ever do that?
I have so many stories from a lot of trucks and these drivers driving 8 hours, and they get mad when I say this, but they're watching movies. Some of them are watching movies, not all of them. Most aren't, but they're watching movies, they're texting, they're on their phone, they're doing other things that you can imagine that they're doing.
This is a good reminder to put the phone down and, as you said, keep focused on the road.
Keep your focus on the road, hands on the wheel, and you'll be fine.
Ooh, 10 and 2.
10 and 2.
I'm not a 10 and 2 girl.
That's another discussion.
Well, we digress.
All right, Mike, thanks so much for joining. We appreciate your time today.